Good morning and happy Friday. A little bit of a cold Friday, right? I think I actually had some frost on my windshield. We are Eastern Monmouth Area Chamber of Commerce, broadcasting live from a shared universe. Christian is our tech here helping us out. And my name is Jane Tresnan from Tresnan Properties and also first vice chair of EMAC. And my co-host on the end here is Kevin Ertl from Lakeland Bank.
How are you?
Great, Kev. Good to see you. And he's also a board of director.
I wear many hats.
Yes.
Board member, business after hours, next generation. I do it all.
Exactly. And we're
podcast.
We're happy to have you do all of that. So, and we're very excited to have Eileen Higgins from Holiday Express as our special guest today. So we're anxious to hear all about Holiday Express and very excited about that. But first, we have to do a little business. I wanted to give a quick shout out to Jen, our director of EMAC. Who is recovering very nicely from elective surgery. And Jen, I know you're listening, so shout out to you that we hope you're doing great. We can't wait to see you back in the office, and we missed you. So
I'm waiting for the comments from her. I did this 2 weeks ago, and she didn't give us any comments, so she's got to be watching today.
Oh, come on, Jen. Yeah, if we're missing something, or you know.
I was waiting for like 20 comments last time, and I didn't get any. So.
All right, well, you must have done a great job, Kevin. So
That's
good.
Fine, yeah.
So we're going to get started off with telling you about our EMAC events, upcoming events, because we had a really great October membership month, and November also our events, and then December is exciting with a couple of great things too. So, Kev, I'm going to let you talk about the holiday party because you're kind of running the show with that. So.
Absolutely. So we're excited. We're having it at the Drift House in Seabright. So we're super excited for that. David Burke. That's going to be December 1st from 5 to 7 p.m. Is it our last in-person event for the year?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, last in-person event for the year, so make sure to come out. $60, but $10 of it is going to the CPC as a donation, so we're collecting for that, so it's a good cause. Plus, you'll meet a lot of great people. Like I said, it's the last in-person event for the year, so come out and say hi and happy holidays and all that fun stuff.
That's great. And we want to say that our sponsors, thank you to EMAC. Our corporate sponsor is Nissan City of Red Bank. And our premier sponsors are Casal Jewelers and Shore Business Solutions. And supporting sponsor is Black Swallowtail Studios. Our first drink sponsor is Jersey Shore Financial Advisors, LLC. And supporting sponsorships are still available. So
Still available. Call me up.
Call Kevin or call the EMAC office.
Comment on this podcast. Tell us you want to sponsor.
There you go.
Fine. I'll call you today.
It's a great event, and registration can be made online also at emac.org. Two other events happening. December 2nd, we have an EMAC podcast with Kevin Ertl, again, of Lakeland Bank, Chris Parmigiani of CMIT Solutions, Monmouth County North, and their guest is Gianna Crocito, I hope I'm saying that correctly, of Realty One Group in Red Bank. That's December 2nd, so next Friday, right, already? Wow, okay. And December 16th, we have an EMAC podcast with Jen. She'll be back, our executive director, yay.
You won't have to see me anymore.
Yeah. Not till next year. Why not? Sure. And her co-host is her husband, Raymond Eckhoff, with guest Solomon Kimo of Richmond Wealth Management. So very exciting, December 16th, before we head right into the...
So we got an event on the 1st, we got the podcast on the 2nd, and then the 16th, the other podcast.
Yep, awesome.
So a lot of great things still happening this year.
Yeah, so all good. So right now, we're very excited to hear from Eileen Higgins about this amazing organization, Holiday Express. And I believe, did I read that you're in your 30th anniversary? Or
our 30th season.
30th season, okay.
Yes.
So
we're going to milk it for all it's worth. It's our 30th season this year and then our 30th year next year. So we're going to get 2 30s out of this.
That's awesome. So tell us.
Save on the branding.
Yeah, right. Tell us all about it. I mean, it's just an amazing organization. So
Sure. Well, in our 30th season, we are a group that goes of musicians and volunteer elves who goes to places where people are forgotten during the holidays. So group homes, homeless shelters, psychiatric hospitals, from November 1st to Christmas Eve. 100 locations. There's 100
Wow.
performances, and we see about 25 to 27,000 individuals in that time. So it's
amazing.
It's music. It's bringing music, but it's also bringing kindness, human kindness, the ability to let people know that we care, that there's people out here who care for them, and these are again are people that are forgotten during the holidays. So we want to make sure that that they're not forgotten.
Sure.
I was just saying, so they don't feel left out. People sit at home like, oh, the Christmas tree lighting, all this, we're not going to. So that's great that people come to them and have an event like that.
Yes,
Bring
yeah.
the spirit to them.
Yeah.
And Eileen, it's not just when I first heard about Holiday Express, I have some friends who volunteer and some musicians who volunteer as well. And I had thought it was really geared more towards children, but it's not, right?
No,
So-
we do have quite a number of children organizations that we go to, but it is primarily adults.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, people with disabilities, intellectual disabilities, physical disabilities, and again, people that they may not have a family that can see them, or they may not have family that is around. So it's to make sure that they know that they're not alone.
Forgotten. They're not
Yes.
alone.
Yes.
Amazing, especially at this time, as you said, when people feel more lonely if they don't have loved ones nearby or they can't get out to different events, and it can be a very lonely time if they don't have support like that. And are you only hold your events only in New Jersey, or?
No, we're in the tri-state area, so we're primarily New Jersey, but we do go into New York City, Staten Island, and in Philadelphia. So it's all hands on deck at this point with shows and buses, and every event that we have is more than just a concert. Although the concert is the big draw. There is food, so there are local restaurants who donate food. Jersey Mike's is a big supporter of ours, and then there's a gift bag that is prepared for each of the guests.
Oh, wonderful! Okay.
And that's the places that they go to, the organizations that we go to select what the guests need. So, as I said, we see 25 to 27,000 people. That means that's 25 to 27,000 bags are packed, and they include items of daily living. Blankets, Bombas. If you hear about Bombas on the radio, we are one of the recipients of the socks.
Oh, wonderful! Yeah.
So all of those items are packed, and we start packing that in October. And the warehouse elves, as we call them, are amazing. They're very much behind the scenes, but they make it all go smoothly. We have 2 trucks that are out on the road today, getting to events, and they just organize everything. So. Volunteers.
Yeah. Tell us about volunteers and how one would go about volunteering. What would we do if we wanted to volunteer?
You can call the office right now in season. You can call the office, or you can go to our website holidayexpress.org, and there's a link there if you want to. If you're a musician, if you're musically inclined, there is an application for that, and we are still accepting. We still have. The majority of our shows to go. Yeah. And all of our musicians are professionals, so they're used to going from gig to gig and working with different groups. So they're very adept at working with one group on Monday and a different group on Tuesday. But you can go to our website and you can apply there. You can call our office. Numbers on the website, but I'm more than happy to plug it.
Sure. Yeah.
It's 732-544-8010. And you can come in for one shift. You can come to the warehouse and do events at the warehouse. We, with COVID still flaring up, we've limited the number of people we have in the warehouse at any time. But we do have groups coming in. A lot of organizations come in. We don't have all the youth groups. We used to have a lot of youth groups come in. They're not coming in as much now, but we have things that they can take and do off-site.
Wonderful.
So we've been collecting Halloween candy. Everyone's left over Halloween candy. We were a little surprised at how much we got this year, which we just, with how expensive things were, we thought that would be difficult. But I know I got the candy out of my house as soon as Halloween was right. And we had a Boy Scout troop come in yesterday and take some of that, and they bag it up for us. Yeah. So there's plenty to do as a volunteer. and if you're comfortable with it, and you can go to the shows, and we need people to serve the food, and part of the shows is singing and dancing. You don't have to sing.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna sing and dance.
Yeah.
You can sing in the room.
I can't
You're
sing.
not up
I'll
on
dance,
but
but
you sing like you're singing. It's Christmas carols,
Sure,
Christmas
sure.
songs. So it's getting people up and dancing and being involved, and it's just I can't tell you. If you can get to an event, you should, because to feel the energy in the room when the band starts playing, and the people start dancing, and as a former teacher of the multiply handicapped, music just heals.
Absolutely.
And it opens up a different side of the brain. And to see people that are wheelchair bound, still they're up, dancing. So if you don't want to dance, but you can move the wheelchair around, you can help them.
Yeah.
You certainly do that.
But it just opened the smiles on their even when they had their masks on, and we have them still. We still have places we go to that have everyone has to wear wet masks. You can see their eyes are lighting up. So it's true joy.
Sure.
And
I imagine it's not only it's amazing, for the people that you're coming and performing and celebrating with, but the people who are volunteering are probably getting out almost just as much of it of joy and a feel good feeling, being there and seeing the reactions and the joy that's coming out of the people that you're visiting, and again, I feel as a volunteer you would gain just as much.
Yes.
Out of it. So
Two-way street.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have long time, very dedicated volunteers. And early in our season, in September, we Amy Robinson, who's our director of operations, goes over the schedule with everyone. And we had I'm new to the position. I've been on the board at Holiday Express for 20 years, but I'm new to the executive director role. And I sat in at the first meeting of all the event managers, and they were talking about the events they were going to. And because of the last 2 years, we were not able to go to every
In person,
event.
yeah.
Last year, we were only able to go to 10 in person, and the year before, we couldn't go to any. All of the event managers were just lighting up as Amy went down the list and said, named each place, and I can't wait to go.
Yes.
I want to see. So they remember the clients
Yes.
remember them.
Right.
It means I can't stress it enough. It means so much to everyone. That
Well, it sounds like they've created relationships,
Yes.
and as you said, it just to the clients, and it's wonderful to have that excitement. How did Holiday Express come about? I know that I believe is Tim McClune
Yes.
as the founder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So Tim was invited to an event. I hope I get the story right. I've heard it a number of times, but Tim tells it far better than I will. Okay. He was invited to an event to volunteer, and when he left the event, he was speaking with his daughter in the car and said it was sad. It was not what he had hoped it would be for a holiday event, and Tim likes a challenge, and he said we can do better. So he and a group of about 10 musicians did better, and they went to the next event with music. The first event had no music, it had no gifts, it was just I believe he said it didn't even have food, but I might not have that part right.
Yeah,
because what would a party be with at least the food?
Right. I'm trying to think. Well, what did they have?
Right. But it started slowly. The first season, about 10 locations. They went to about 10 locations, and just with each one realized what they could do, and it's grown to now we do 100 locations in a season. And the band, the group has gotten together off season, and for like Matheny School has done a prom. So it's primarily during the holidays, but it's not limited to that.
Right.
And
I was just about to say, is it more year round now, or is it just like October to January? Like
it's the bulk of what we do is November and December.
Okay.
That's when we go to all the locations, but we're there to help other places if they need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Step in. Sorry, my board chair is calling me. So hopefully I didn't say
Tell-
something wrong.
Right.
He's telling me.
You told the story wrong. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
oh no, there was food at the first one. Well, maybe sending you something to mention or something or whatever, but that's funny. So, but tell us also. So, this is an amazing organization, and but tell us a little bit about you too. You know, we'd love to know about you as well, like your background and how you got involved. And you said that you've been on the board for 20 years, and now you're in this capacity of
I'm the executive director.
executive director,
Correct.
right? So how did that all come about? Tell us about
Well,
Eileen Higgins.
it's going to sound like I'm going way back. Then I'll put you to sleep with this. But I grew up in.
we have plenty of time.
I grew up. My mom used to run what's now Latison. It was cerebral palsy at the time. So I'm one of 6 children, and we were all voluntold growing up. So we were always involved. With,
Love that voluntold.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were always involved in the nonprofit, in philanthropy work. And from there, I've been very involved in the community doing philanthropic work and working for nonprofits. And I used to run a home for homeless women in Eatontown.
Oh, wow.
And we were selected to go to one of the shows at Holiday Express. And I knew Tim for a long time. He was actually supposed to be our wedding band when we got married a long time ago.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yes, he was very involved with it was cerebral palsy at the time. It's now Latison. He was very involved there. He performed at all their fundraising events. His band, and anyway, our group was invited, and Tim was looking for some people who had the perspective of the guest to come on the board. So I was invited onto the advisory board. I think I was on the advisory board for about 6 weeks, and he said, "Oh, this is silly. Just come on, just come on the board."
Right,
so all of
right.
us who were on the advisory board just came onto the board,
Yeah.
and stayed, and we're able to give the perspective of what the guests.
I
needed.
love that. I
Yeah.
mean, that makes so much sense, but it's not always the case,
Right.
right? Like
Well, again, Tim does things differently. He
well,
really does.
It sounds like he really does, and he really knows what he's doing.
Yes.
Because that just makes a lot of sense to have you come on and giving the perspective, so what will affect the clients in a good way, and everything else, and their perspective of how they're feeling. I mean, it's wonderful.
Yeah. It's a great perspective, and boards should do that.
Yeah, sure,
We talk
right.
about it as a best practice as a board, but
Yeah.
Holiday Express does actually put
Yeah.
it in place, and
Yeah.
has for a long time. I've been on the board for 20 years, so
Yeah.
it's.
It's awesome.
So then I just stayed involved through the board. I've had I worked for the county of Monmouth and Girl Scouts, and now stepped into this role, and really excited to be here. It's such an really amazing organization, and just to be able to be part of it. It is very different being a board member to stepping in, to the day to day. So
Yeah.
learning. There's a big learning curve, and we have quite a number of fundraising events and fundraising. So we do have the town lighting, the Red Bank Town Lighting coming up. That's it's their 30th year, and the Holiday Express Band has been there, I believe, every year.
Oh wow. Okay.
And
when is that happening?
That's the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, 25th. I should know this.
Yeah.
The 25th.
That's all right. You might
Yes.
maybe look at your watch. Maybe you're getting a call from the chairman, but yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
right in Red Bank here, and it's if you haven't gone to that, you should go. That's just. If you can't get in the holiday spirit after that, then you're the Grinch. And,
Yeah, right.
and we will have the Grinch with us, because
Oh,
the
yes.
Grinch is part of the show that is performed.
Yes,
So-
I saw that on your website, and I think you had a clam bake. Was that a fundraiser
Yes.
in the summer? And I saw the Grinch showed up there.
Yes,
and,
the Grinch comes to all of our events, and so
Yeah.
does Santa and Mrs. Claus.
Okay,
So,
good.
Don't want to give away too much,
Right.
but Santa will be there at
Yeah.
the town lighting, and
Yeah.
actually it starts. It's with the Red Bank Visitor Center and the downtown group, and it starts at 5:00 down at the down by the train station. And then the Santa will come there, and then the kids will parade down into town, where the whole rest of at 7 o'clock the whole concert starts.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah.
You spoke about a learning curve taking over the executive. What's like the biggest challenge? Is it fundraising? Is it finding volunteers? Is it the logistics of all the concerts? Like what?
No, I cannot say enough how great our volunteer base is and how great our volunteers are. Amy Robinson, our director of operations, has it down to a science. All these events, she amazes me as she does all of that. I would say the biggest thing is just learning a new. I've worked in larger organizations, so there's only 3 staff members,
Okay.
but we have the numbers vary, but about 1,000 volunteers. So they do a lot of the work that in my old jobs was done by staff members.
Okay.
So some of it's also just learning, where the keys to the castle
Yeah,
are,
yeah,
Right.
and what's the next thing. It seems like everything is happening September to December. So we have. We also have two shows at the Basie.
Down Basie,
Yes, on the 19th, December 19th and December 20th, and that's a lot of fun. And the tickets are from $25 up. So there are
very reasonable.
Yeah, and you can buy the tickets at the Basie box office. You can buy them. You can go to our website. And that we have 2 wonderful sponsors for that: Carol Stillwell from Stillwell Hansen and Investors Bank, which is soon to be Citizens Bank.
Yeah.
is
We're just talking about that banking industry. It's
Yes.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
so they're sponsoring us. And then there's we were invited this year to a new event at the Basie. There's a wine tasting. That'll be December 4th. So that's new to a group that's just starting this at the Basie.
Is that for outside people
Yes,
as well could
yes,
attend?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's tickets for that are available on the through the Basie, and we'll have them on our website. It's just really coming together. And then Coffee Corral is a big supporter of ours,
yes,
and
I love that. I love that.
Well, and they have a Holiday Express coffee.
Yes.
During the
great.
season, so
good.
I haven't had it yet. I'm probably going to go there after
After
today.
this? Yeah.
But I hear it's.
You mean you've had lots of it, right?
I've had lots of coffee.
Can't get
Corral.
enough of it.
Yeah, but I haven't had the Christmas. I haven't had the Holiday
Holiday
Express one.
Express,
I should,
okay.
Let me clarify that.
Yes.
Yes, I've. They're wonderful. Cortland Crossan is amazing. So
Yeah. I love going, I love Coffee Corral. And so would they donate a portion of,
Yes.
of the coffee?
yes, and you can buy it by the
Water.
cup, or you can buy it
bag.
by the bag.
Yeah, wonderful.
So they've been a great partner for 6 or 7 years.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's fun. It's when I go out and talk about Holiday Express, either everyone knows who we are or they have the slightest idea.
Right.
We do get a lot of calls for Holiday Inn.
Oh,
We
yeah.
are not Holiday Inn.
Oh my gosh.
We could probably not have to do any fundraisers if we could just charge every time somebody calls us.
I was gonna say you got to work out some kind of connection. to,
Well,
you know.
it's funny. I'm going to say something. So yesterday, I thought, let me just, Google around and see a little bit about the organization. And so every time I typed in Holiday Express, up came Holiday Inn, and I'm like, no, we've got to, let me figure this out, So I put in your name, I put in Tim McClune, and then I realized, of course, so for everybody out there, it's holidayexpress.org, right? So
Yes, yeah.
and the Grinch came up, so
Yeah.
I knew I was on the right track there. But yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. Or if you put in Holiday Express charity, that'll
gotcha.
come up as well too. Yes.
Yeah.
So, would you be interested in volunteering?
Oh,
Put you
absolutely.
on the spot?
Absolutely.
When's the next event?
Yeah.
Oh, we have 2 and 3 every day. So
2 or 3 every day. Wow.
Yeah, so getting 100 shows in
great.
yeah,
Sure.
Yeah. So we just sent an email reminder out to our volunteers today that we do have some openings still at the shows, and we don't want anyone to be intimidated. It can be if you're not used to being around people who don't they don't vocalize, who are wheelchair bound. It can be intimidating, but they're people, and get over it. Sorry,
Exactly.
I'm not supposed to say that, but and it's one of the things I've heard from. Again, I was involved with Holiday Express when I was teaching as well. From the clients that we see, that people are not uncomfortable coming up and talking to them. They're not. They understand that even taking their wheelchair and dancing to the music with them, that someone touches them appropriately.
Yes, right.
But that's that people are giving the gift of human kindness is the tagline, and trying to explain what that is hard. But if you come to a show, you'd see you'd see what it is.
Yeah.
And we had a show at Bright Harbor, which used to be called Ocean Mental Health, last week, and one of the clients there saw Tim and the band come in, and he just lit up. And he's actually on our 25th anniversary video, so we have to get him on our 30th anniversary video. But he talks about what Holiday Express meant to him, and he was in the hospital because he was on suicide watch. And he said this group came in and showed him that somebody cared. And it's just, that's how many years ago. And as soon as Tim and the group came into the building, he lit up, and he knew everyone's name. Everyone knew his name. He was up dancing. He was leading the conga line. But it's, again, to see it, you understand giving the gift of human kindness better when you see it.
Yeah, and I mean, mental health is a real issue.
Yes.
Especially during the holidays.
Near the holidays, and for sure, that you're giving this gift of human kindness, and you're touching these people, and maybe that's just the uplifting that they need to get off suicide watch, or feel loved and needed.
Just get out of their shell a little bit.
Yeah. I had my sister. I'm one of 6 also, and my sister was mentally handicapped. So when you mention being comfortable around, people with, whether it's disabilities, whether it's mental or physical or whatever, and some people are uncomfortable. But, I spent a lot of my life going to her group home activities and holidays and celebrations, and the love you feel back from them is, tenfold. So it's so wonderful. And as you said, they're just people like you and I who just need the same care and the same love and the same kindness, Right. So yeah, I'll volunteer.
Absolutely.
I'll follow up with both of you on that. Or Phyllis will, who's our amazing staff member, Phyllis Peterson, who will she will be on calling you right away.
Okay, perfect.
So
how long has Holiday Express been a member of the chamber and stuff? Do you know?
I don't. For quite a while. I know that it was before. I've been a member of the chamber. Forever. Every job I've been on, I've been. I know how important this chamber is to the community and how much it gives back. And certainly under Jen's leadership, it's been
amazing.
It's been very out there. So
absolutely,
which is great, and does so much. I know Jen started here the same time I had started a new job, so we kind of would go to some of the events together, sit at the tables together. So I got to know her, and I miss you, Jen. Wish you were here.
Yeah,
but you guys are doing a great job. But Jen is a force to love to have in the room.
Yeah, she's one of the reasons I joined the chamber, and I'm sure you could say
definitely the reason I'm more involved. That's for sure.
Oh, sure. Well,
voluntold.
Yeah, she kind of hooked us in, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, all right, we're on the board now. So. Jen, if you're listening, why have we not approached Eileen for committee head and board? Yeah, I guess you're a little busy now.
We're going to put you on the spot soon.
You're going to throw it right back at me.
Yeah, right.
But
yeah.
So I'm trying to think. What else? What else do you want to tell us?
Oh, gee. I the volunteering would be great. We have a golf outing as well. We don't do everything September to December. It seems like we do a lot. We have a Super 50-50 that will be starting in January. That's a chance to win $25,000. It's a $50,000. There's 500 tickets being sold at $100 each. So we'll have that. It takes an average of $7,000 for each of our events.
Right. Okay.
And we have very large events we go to. we'll have do 600 people, 600 dinners for 600 and seats to 600 people on Christmas Eve.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So those events cost us $25,000 between the gifts and the food. Transportation is a killer.
Sure.
You have to get all of the equipment there and the buses there. And the bands there and the volunteers. So support is volunteers support is great, and sponsorship, and we definitely could use that. And I'm looking to really grow some of our committees. So our clam bake, it's fun, it's different. It's on the beach in Long Branch, in front of the Pier House,
Oh, nice.
McLuhan's Pier House.
Sure.
And it's if you haven't seen the tent, then you haven't been to Long Branch that weekend, because you can't miss it. It's actually 3 huge tents, and it's different, and it brings a big crowd to the boardwalk once the band starts playing. So,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And if you're walking down the boardwalk in September and you hear Christmas songs, it is
Yeah.
kind of.
So it is Christmas
is that?
songs in
Well,
Christmas
they don't
in
play
July.
just Christmas, but we do have our signature "Nobody Ought to Be
Sure.
Alone for Christmas," so they always start with that. And
Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
Yes, and I haven't gotten tired of it yet.
Yeah, yeah. And that's open to the public too, or no? Is that
The tickets are
the
open.
tickets are
yes,
open? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's our biggest fundraiser.
Yeah.
And that's usually in September, you said?
Yes. Yeah.
Labor Day weekend? Or
No, we try to go. It is on the beach, so we have to be cognizant of parking and all of that.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
And while Tim is an amazing partner, so are McLuhan restaurants.
Yes.
And really, if you go to our website, you can see a listing of the restaurants who contribute. Joe Leone contributes 600 dinners to when we go to the St. Joseph's school. So it's. It is really a community that makes this work.
Yeah.
And we'd be lost without them.
Right,
So
right.
it's right now 3 staff members, but lots of volunteers and lots of community, and a great board, and a very involved board. As you can tell, he's calling.
Yeah. So how do you manage your family? And here we are. Most of us are normally, the holidays. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe
Busy
Thanksgiving's
time of the
next
year,
week.
yeah.
Busy, and all of a sudden everything ramps up, and holiday events and shopping and children and grandkids, whatever. So how do you handle all of that? You mentioned like Christmas Eve, right? Are you, with all the events that are happening, how do you balance your family functions with all of this? Do you just get them involved?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I learned the lesson from my mom, so my family has been wonderful, and they're voluntold as well.
Good.
I don't have 6 children. I
Yeah.
only have 2, and they're grown, but
Yeah.
they're involved, and they bring their friends as well. My son lives here in Red Bank, and my daughter's up in the city, but she'll be down for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
When I took the job, even though they're grown and out of the house, we had a conversation that it would be crazy through Christmas.
Sure.
And again, I've worked in nonprofits. I've never not had a job that was 9 to 5, and they know
They're used to
the
it.
drill. Yes.
Yeah.
Last night I was up, working on some stuff. I just brought the computer home and sat down, with my husband so we could talk. But I had the computer out and I'm working, and they're used to that. That's they get it.
Yeah. Right.
And they're great volunteers too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's you're doing something you obviously love to do,
Yes.
and you're affecting people like in such a wonderful way. So that's got to make you even more motivated, as you said, even always to be, working or whatever, and your family sees that too.
Yes,
So
yeah.
that's really neat.
Yeah. And they with my mom being at Ladison, they were very involved there.
Yeah.
And the next generation voluntold as well.
Yeah.
So it was. They're used to it.
Plus, it's such a great cause. It's not like they're going to
Oh,
get upset
gosh.
about you, being at a concert
Yeah.
or doing whatever. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's and my friends, they've all been very supportive wherever I've been. But I would say definitely Holiday Express has a special place, because I know I've said this a number of times, and I will continue to say it. If you can get to one of the shows, one of the not the public shows, please come to those and support us. But if you can get to one where it's again with the people who are forgotten, you can't walk away from there and not feel like you're making a difference. And we're only there for 2 hours.
Right.
But to know that they look forward to us coming year after year. With the pandemic in 2020, we could not do any shows. Obviously, we go to the most fragile populations. We couldn't.
Sure.
We couldn't bring anyone in, so there was a virtual version of our program, but we still continued to deliver the program. They still got the gift bags. They got the party, and they got a recording of
Right.
of the show. Last year there was we did a step up on the virtual, and this year Tim and the band did a whole, and the elves. I can't forget the elves.
Yeah.
We did a whole show with FRA. As an audience, and it just makes such a difference. Even the band has commented on it. It makes such a difference when the audience is in the room.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So we had the audience in the room, and we filmed that. So anyone we can't go to, we were supposed to be at Children's Specialized Hospital last week, and they had an outbreak, and they couldn't have outside visitors in. So they still get the gifts, they still get everything that comes with it, and then we have this professionally created, and so the other one's professionally created, but this was shot with the idea that if we couldn't be there, they would still have the party.
Right.
And we've heard from the organizations that we've gone to that they've played the videos throughout the year, and the kids just love it. So it's nice that we're there for them.
Yeah. Continuous.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
And it's fun. It's Tim and the musicians, definitely play to the audience and speak to the audience, and they can't help but feel touched because it's clear that people care for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Now, are the events all over? Or are they mostly Monmouth County? Ocean?
No, they're all over. They're all over, primarily in New Jersey. We have buses going north and south, veterans' homes, again, specialized hospitals, group homes, and then we do go into some shelters. We've done some shelters and some programs up in the city, up in Staten Island, in Philly.
Okay.
Really
Really all
everywhere.
over.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and I continue to get calls for how to grow it.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. Like, so you, are visiting all these hundreds of places, but if someone, do you find newer group homes or newer, locations that you want to go to, or can people reach out to you as well? Is that how does that happen? Is your staff kind of finding the locations to go to, or are people reaching out? Reaching out to you, or both?
It's both now.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was more of us reaching out, but now certainly people are reaching out to us. As staff may change from working one location to another, when they get to a new place, a new organization, they reach out and say, we'd love to have you. The schedule is set very early in the year. It has to be when you coordinate the items.
Oh, sure.
All the gift bag items
Can
have to be
imagine.
ordered and have to be ordered well in advance, and then shipped here, and then the transportation and busing schedules. So
Plus, coordinating 100 shows with 100 different places.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that
And-
date's taken. Oh, this date's taken.
Yeah.
Right.
And all the musicians and the elves and ensuring that everyone can get there. But we do listen to see who else, and is there something in January there'll be a conversation of, is there something we can do differently? Is there maybe we can't get to every location, but is there something, especially now that we have some videos?
Sure.
And I don't know what the answer is going to be to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
the test.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that though. Yeah, and I love the video idea. I think that's great.
Yeah.
For sure.
The aspect that you can keep watching it, like,
Yeah.
oh, every Friday we're going to put it on for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's there's the traditional songs, or the ones that you're familiar with, but then the band and Tim have taken them and done some parodies of some things. So we have Frosty the Snowman comes out, and Santa always comes out, and Mrs. Claus will be there, and the Grinch. They have a Disco Santas.
Yeah.
They used to do Disco Santas.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's coming back this year or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then the 12 Days of Christmas song, but everyone has to act out parts.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
It really is interactive, and it gets people up and moving around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
A lot of energy required,
Yes.
I guess,
Yes.
and for them to do the musicians and the staff and the elves and to do these multiple shows and everything. It's pretty neat, you know,
Yeah.
that they've got to have a ton of energy and you know, to get people up and interactive and all
Yes,
of that.
yeah.
So
And just again, if you're can come to the shows, that's great. Even if you come to the warehouse and see what the warehouse is, and that's where all of our warehouse elves are busy packing the bags, and that is an incredibly well-oiled machine.
Mm-hmm.
They are they know exactly how many sets of gloves we have, and blankets, and we had a group come in yesterday from Travelers, and sometimes our groups are too good because they'll go blow through everything, and we're like, wait, we need you to slow down a little because we have to bag it. It all gets bagged up for the event and it gets labeled so that it can get to the right place. And
Yeah.
everyone, and there's some quality control. We want to make sure everyone's getting the same thing.
Sure.
And that there's enough of everything that's being ordered. So,
right, yeah,
so it really is an amazing organization to watch what they do in really a very small
window.
period of time. It's again, I mentioned her before, but Amy Robinson does an amazing job all year long organizing and ordering things to make sure that come October, the duffel, again, everything's packed into a duffel bag, because that was one of the things when I come on the board. I said, I ran a home for homeless women, and I said, we talk about the homeless shelters need socks and hats, but most of our clients come in without a luggage.
Without a bag,
luggage.
sure.
So everything is packed into a duffel bag.
Okay.
So they have the duffel bag that they can use.
That's wonderful.
And then there's hats and gloves and socks and toiletry items and all that has to be, even if you come now, you'll see them packing the bags, but what you don't see is that every item has to be sealed. So 27,000 body washes have to be taped. 27,000 bottles of shampoo have to be
my
taped.
goodness,
All of
wow.
those things have to be taped so that when they go in the bag, they don't leak.
Sure.
So that's the things that our warehouse elves are doing that most people, as a board member, had no idea.
Right.
I've been there towards the end when they're packing, but to see the preparation that goes into it all is it's amazing.
Yeah, the detail, and going back, it's a monumental task
Yeah.
for sure. So.
And if somebody wanted to volunteer in the warehouse, where is the warehouse located?
It's on Industrial Way in Eatontown.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And you can go on the website and sign up for it too. We keep the numbers. We 10 to 12. It's a very large warehouse, but we 10 to 12 people at any time. We have generally two shifts a day, and one Monday through Friday, and a late shift on Tuesday, and a Saturday morning shift as well. So it's
Plenty of options for people.
yes,
Sure.
yes.
Yeah.
And again, we do have groups that come in and they help. We had a group from a family whose the matriarch was celebrating her birthday, and she didn't want a big birthday, so she had her family come in, and they worked in the warehouse, and they were absolutely amazing. Everyone had to come with an item. This was her birthday wish, to come in with an item. So we got tons of hats and gloves and soccer balls and toys for kids, because while we don't primarily work with children, we certainly still see a lot of children, and we see
Sure.
children on Christmas Eve when we go to the soup kitchens. So it's nice to have and everything we ask for, if any donations, is that they're brand new.
Yes.
Brand new and with tags, because
Sure.
this is their Christmas.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Plus, like you said, with COVID and all that stuff, you don't want to be reusing that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Which is another way to volunteer is we need women's pajamas, warm women's pajamas, and women's coats. We've gotten a lot of men's coats this year. We put a plug out for it, but we need women's pajamas. Gift cards, $15 and $20 gift cards to Wawa and Dunkin' Donuts and places people can Coffee Corral.
Right. There you go. Yeah.
But the places that we give that to the guests, we have a raffle, and they might get a wallet with some with a gift card in it. But it's just, again, a way to remember that they're human and need just a
Little treat every once in a
treat.
while.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they all get the Halloween candy. So there's big
Yeah.
bags of Halloween candy. And we remove anything that's Halloween, but it's all that in itself is an amazing. Just watching the sorting that goes on in that.
Sure.
And
So if anybody out there listening to us wanted to donate any items, like you said, even gift cards, it's so easy to do. Okay, if you don't have time to maybe shop, but you can get a gift card anywhere, the food store, CVS, whatever. But so would they contact your staff and they would let them know where to send it to, or do you want to tell us right now where to send it
They
to?
can send it to our office. They can go to our website. All the information is on the website. It's
Okay.
holidayexpress.org, but our office is 151 Industrial Way East, and East is important, in Suite A4 in Eatontown.
Okay.
And they can come there. They can call the office 732-544-8010, and Phyllis will take all of their information.
Yeah, good.
But definitely, the gift cards are a big item, and it's $15 to $20. We'd certainly welcome larger ones, but that's really what we're looking for. That's what we're looking to give out. Pajamas, women's pajamas is right on our list right now. Women's coats, and I'm gonna plug them too. But Costco has great women's coats right now for $20.
Yeah,
so
there you go,
we've
right?
had people giving us. Some people have just even given us money to go buy the coats. We've
Sure.
done that as well.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
that's awesome. These are all great ideas because sometimes people are like, "How can I help? I don't know. I don't really." And then you get bogged down and you just don't do anything. So
Right.
these are you've given everyone really great ideas in terms of how they can help in either small or big. If you can't,
What are the biggest items you're looking for? I know you said women's coats, women's pajamas. Anything else that doesn't pop into somebody's head automatically?
men's cologne.
Men's cologne.
Is
Okay.
something they're looking for as well. Wallets, just little wallets. Those my staff will kill me that I can't remember exactly.
They're screaming at their screens right now.
Yes, but definitely the gift cards is a big item. That's that's something. Actually, right now we need washcloths. Every one of those bags gets a washcloth. And we need crayons, packages of crayons. So next year, my plan is to get, as back to school sales go
Sure.
on, to remind people, if you want to pick up some crayons. And that's something, you have to be over 14 to be in the warehouse. And again, we've limited the number of people in the warehouse, but if someone wants to do a drive, and that's how when I was on the board, solely on the board, my daughter was at RFH, and she did a drive, and collected items, and we had a Silver Award Girl Scout last year collected thousands of toothbrushes.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Individually wrapped, and that's another thing is they can't come in the big package.
Sure.
They have to be individually wrapped because they go out individually.
Dispersed, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And that it's soaps, it's big bars of soap.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we give we give them everything, the full on.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And you're making an incredible difference to each of these individuals, and it's like a little bit. It doesn't take a lot from everyone to donate or to, whether it's, as you say, a gift card or these items, and it's very little for us to do,
Right.
and yet you're making such a big impact,
Right.
on each of these clients. So.
And again, our volunteers have been wonderful. We sent out a quick email, and we were very low on men's coats earlier in the season, and because, as I said, the bags are already being packed
Yeah.
for everything, so we were low on men's coats, so we put that out, and we were flooded with them,
Inundated.
which still not enough, but
Yeah.
it's still amazing, because anything we get like that means we don't have to use the dollars we've raised
Sure.
for that. We can use it for other items.
And you said put it out. Is that on you have a Facebook, a Twitter, or everything? Yeah.
Yes, we have
TikTok.
Good to hear. Kevin is he's our big social media guru for EMAC. So yeah, I'm glad
It's
you
strong,
mentioned-
but okay. It's a lot of pressure.
know a lot more than I do for sure. So yeah.
So where can somebody find if you're looking for more pajamas? Or, is that on Facebook or?
It's on our. I'm not as well versed. Unfortunately, I have a board
various social media channels, we'll just say.
a board member who is. No, I'm just not. I follow them all, but
Yeah.
I have a board member who is young, as I'm not, and we work with Andrea Plaza for
right, of
Andrea
course.
Plaza LLC, and she's been doing our social media. So every Tuesday we put something out, a giving kindness, a kindness package on Tuesdays, and that goes on all our channels. We're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Not on TikTok yet.
You're not going to do a TikTok for us today, Eileen.
No. And I've heard that we have to do stories and we have to do video. It's just a lot. It's drinking from the fire hose right now. I will admit it. But having a good plan going forward.
Sure.
And we have radio stations that support us. So Tim is on air with interviews. If you get him on here, he'd love to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
He's got great stories too.
Yeah, good.
And are you collecting toys too, or
We
gift bags are just that, like the other kind of stuff, not like toys so much?
we do take toys. It's not. There are other organizations who do more with
Right.
toys, and we don't want to take away from them. So I know people are probably cringing that I just said in my office, but we certainly do some.
You're more
toys.
focusing on the other things.
Yes,
which,
yeah.
which
We
is
want to
great
connect,
too.
connect them with the services from the other organizations, and we don't do food. We don't take food other than Halloween candy, wrapped Halloween candy,
Right,
and we're
right.
wrapping up on that. No pun intended, but we are finishing up on that. So those are all packed as well, ready to go to each show.
Yeah.
So, volunteers and coming to the events. I mean, the concerts, they're family friendly. December 19th and 20th at the Basie. Still have seats available.
Awesome.
That would be. I know it's hard to think that seems like it's so far away, and it's not.
No, I can't. I mean, I can't believe Thanksgiving is next week, and
Yes.
it just flew by. So,
Yeah, I thought.
What are your plans for Thanksgiving? Yeah, are you at a show or?
No, we have because we have the show the day after. Thanksgiving is
Okay,
one
right.
day that we have off, and have my husband's family to our house. So
Very
he's one
nice.
of 6 as well. So there's two big families. What are you all doing?
Yeah.
Traditional turkey in
Oh,
the
yes.
oven, or is it an air fryer?
No, traditional in the oven.
Yeah.
All mom's recipes.
Perfect.
Yeah, we still have his mother makes better stuffing than my mother makes, but I like my mother.
That's what makes
Right.
Thanksgiving fun.
Yeah.
I like my mother's recipe. So
Right.
it's
The 4 stuffings
yeah.
on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my sister-in-law is an amazing baker, so she'll make all the pies. So it's great. And my daughter makes the pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
So what are you all doing? Are you?
Yeah, so I'm actually visiting my daughter who's living in Richmond, and she's having her boyfriend's family. And so I'm going down there Tuesday, I think, and then Wednesday we'll help her. She loves to entertain and she loves to cook, and so we're going to be doing all the cooking and, turkey, mashed potatoes, pies, everything. And so that should be fun. My boys are... My son is expecting a baby on the 28th.
Oh,
Their
wow.
first. And that's my older son. So they're laying low. And then my other son.
Any day now.
Any day now. And my other son had a baby in July. So
Oh, wow.
a little grandson. The other one is going to be a granddaughter. So I'm very excited. And so they are going to their in-laws. So I said, okay, perfect. I'll head down to Jennifer and help her out. So
Great.
And of course we'll do Black Friday shopping. That's what she really wants to do is, get here for Black Friday shopping.
That's my role on
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, to go get the circular newspaper.
Oh, yeah.
It costs like $100 now. But you gotta look at all the ads
Right.
and everything.
So, Kev, are you cooking? What are you doing?
I do not cook. My in-laws cook. We go over there.
Okay.
I bring my kids and the wife over there, and,
Yeah.
and they cook in the traditional, turkey in the oven roaster and whatnot.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
no deep frying or anything like that.
No. Yeah, deep frying or actually, was that somewhere that they did it? I think they did it, outside in a big.
It's like a big container,
Yeah,
and
right?
they drop it in.
All
yeah,
the
yeah.
oil and all that. Yeah. So, but
But yeah, we stay pretty low key because they rest up for all their shopping afterwards.
yes.
And
yes.
is that local?
Yeah. So I live down in Ocean County, so I'm down
Okay.
there. So yeah.
Well, if you can get to the tree lighting on town lighting on.
Oh,
Friday,
absolutely.
it really is a lot of fun for the family too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they'll have hot chocolate and Santa.
Oh, I can't miss that then. I got a 5 and a 2-year-old, so you can't miss
Yeah.
Santa.
Oh yeah. Right.
And the Grinch.
And the Grinch, yeah.
Other towns have town lightings, but not all of them have the Grinch.
Right, right.
And they don't have the Holiday Express band.
Very true.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's very, very wonderful way to start the holidays, to sit here and speak with you and
Get you in
hear
the
all
spirit.
about. Yeah, it really does, So,
It's our unofficial kickoff, I guess.
yeah. So how
So it's holidayexpress.org. We'll just wrap everything up. holidayexpress.org to check out all the information we kind of talked about today, volunteer, to donate.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. We got the event on the 1st. Don't forget about that, everybody.
Yep.
Could be a good time.
Yep. Drift House in Seabright. Mm-hmm. And if you want to learn more about EMAC, please go to emac.org or call the office. And we hope our members all come out to December 1st, and anybody interested, non-members as well, hope you come out to our holiday party.
Make sure you register for the event.
Yes, yes.
I think there's an extra fee if you do the day before, so register now so we know how many people are coming.
Yep. Yep, should be fun.
Yeah.
And
if you're not a member of EMAC, you should be. It's a great organization.
Absolutely.
So, very involved in the community. And we miss you, Jen.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only helps your business grow, but you'll make a lot of great friends.
I was going to say the connections I made,
The connections
and the
are
relationships you
wonderful.
build, and absolutely.
Yeah. And a lot of that started with Jen, who's home recuperating. And yes, we miss you, but we'll see you soon. We'll see you at the party probably. So
I told her she had to be there. So
yeah,
she better get up and walk in.
yeah, get up. So all good. Any last words
got like
or
2
whatever?
minutes left,
Yeah.
No, I thank you so much for this opportunity. People, as I said in the beginning, people either think they know what Holiday Express is, and they usually think it's the town lighting or the concerts, but it is much more, and we do much more, and can't do it without the community, can't do it without the support. So,
Right.
and we appreciate that. I appreciate the opportunity to get a chance to talk about it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's an amazing organization. And
I know I learned a whole lot more of what the Holiday Express is. Like I knew of you guys, being local and stuff, but
Yeah.
or working local up here, but I have so much more of an appreciation now and everything that goes into it. And
Yeah,
stuff, so.
absolutely.
And if you're a golfer, we have a golf outing in June.
And where's that?
It's at Deal Golf and Country Club.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that should be fun. That'll be our first year
I
there.
know a whole bunch of golfers at the bank, so
Oh, good.
we'll be
Yeah.
involved.
Okay. Well, we appreciate that.
My boss loves golfing. Any excuse to get outside.
Yeah.
So.
Good. So I believe it's June 12th. So yeah. So
Perfect time. Nice and spring. Nice,
Yeah.
be nice
Yeah.
and warm.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that
we're-
sounds great.
looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I'm seriously interested in volunteering.
Okay.
And as I said, I have a couple of friends who've been doing it every year. They were so kind of disappointed during COVID. They're like, this is such an important part of their holiday season is to volunteer. So so I'm excited to love to be a part of it.
Well, kind of like EMAC, the group of volunteers getting back together this year was really old home week. You got to see
Sure.
people you hadn't seen in a while. And again, we provided the program all year.
Yes, right.
Both years, but you just couldn't have everyone together.
In
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
And we couldn't do all the characters, so
Yeah.
people missed the Grinch.
Right. Absolutely. So,
Who would have thought?
Yeah. And we have some great Grinches. That's
yeah.
all I can say on that one.
Yeah.
And Frosty.
Right. All good. Right. All righty. Well, thank you, Eileen Higgins from Holiday Express. And you got a few seconds. Anything else we need to say before Christian
Kicks us
cuts
off.
us off?
Well, happy Thanksgiving
Yes.
to everyone.
Yes.
Thanksgiving,
Happy
everyone.
Thanksgiving. There you go.
Yeah.
And
I know we're big Macy Day Parade watchers in my house.
yes.
so.
I
Yes.
love the
We are
Rockettes.
too. Yes.
As they're going through the newspaper, I'm watching the parade.
Right,
Eating my
right.
crumb cake.
Right. Yeah. Did go to it a couple years.
No way.
Yeah. And 1 year was freezing,
Yeah.
and they were little guys, the kids, and but
As long as it's not windy and the balloons get up.
Right.
That's the biggest thing I look at in
Yeah.
the forecast.
yeah, it's all
I look
good.
forward to seeing the Rockettes dance. So.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
good.
But
Okay.
thank you for having us. Everybody have a good
Yep.
the rest of their Friday and have a good weekend.
Yep,
And we'll see you back on the 1st and the 2nd.
sounds great. Yep.